I zoomed into the picture and there was a woman in the reflection of the picture. Now I thought to myself, come on now.
I'm fed up of life. We came from the mud, do you remember the times? Look them dead in the eyes. You see where the envy and the jealousy lies. Day one's turning when they said they would ride. Feel like my heart's just been buried alive.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Like, it's actually been a minute. Like, just me sitting down with you guys and talking. I feel like it's been ages, but I've been in a little bit of a rut. I just haven't really been feeling myself, so it's been really hard because I want to bring the energy and like good vibes. I don't want this channel to be like just about deep shit all the time. So yeah, like that's why I've been struggling to upload, because if I'm not feeling 100%, I don't really want to upload. But today I thought, why don't I just come and bring you guys this video and tell you guys about the ex-boyfriend, because I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for that story and I haven't actually told you. So if you want to hear what happened with my first relationship, then stay tuned to this video. And yeah, oh, and subscribe. So last year I met a guy and we became official and we were together for, I want to say 8 months. Yeah, 8 months. I just want to point out, right, that I was minding my business. I went to dinner with my brother. We went period. Like, I went dinner, I was looking like a hot mess as well. I had like gym leggings on and the top was like a completely different colour, because for those of you that don't know, I work in housing, so I always just like drag on whatever and go about my business. So I was in the period shot with my brother, and as we were leaving, we were a very affectionate family, so we was like hugging in the street to say goodbye or whatever, and then he left. And then as I was getting into my car, some guy across the road was like waving, trying to call me over. I was like, no. And I got in my car. And then he basically said, can he come over? To that I said, of course, you can come over, that's fine. Because I was thinking like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm quite friendly as well. Like, I'm not about to just say to someone like, don't talk to me. Do you know what I mean? So he came over, and straight away, as he started walking, I knew he was Jamaican. Just straight away, like, I just knew. So he came across the road and he started talking to me, as I thought, strongest Jamaican accent I've ever heard.
Absolutely love it. I'm absolutely here for it.
So instantly I was feeling it, because I just love a Jamaican guy. I was like, oh, okay, he's cute. So he was talking to me and he was like, oh, like, is your man gonna spin back round and blah blah blah. And I was like, that was my brother, that wasn't my man. So, minding my business, basically. Long story short, we exchanged numbers. That's how we met, literally, in the street, on a random one. It was quite nice, because he was just messaging constantly, like, oh, I want to take you out, I want to get to know you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool, he's keen. Let me see how it goes. So, we had our first date the next day, I think, and basically it all kicked off from there. It was actually quite nice to start with, because we were just getting to know each other. Like, we went for like dinners, and he worked like close to my house, so he used to just pull up at the house, say hello. He used to meet me at work, because I worked in the houses, and chill. That was like how our relationship started. And then like after about like 6 weeks, he was talking about, you know, he wants to be official, he really likes me. And I was just a little bit like, rah, like, is this what happens? I don't know. Usually I just talk to them for a while and leave it at that. But he was like, yeah, I really want it to be official. So we met in July, and I was going to Jamaica in September. And as time was going on, he was like really eager for us to be official before I went to Jamaica. He was like, expressed his worry about me being like available when I went to Jamaica, basically. So me and my cousin was going together, so he knew it was just me and her, so I feel like he was a little bit more worried. He was like, you know, I'm more serious than you don't know what you want, and all this sort of stuff. Things were going well, and I started really liking him really quick. So I was like, okay, like, what's the worst that can happen? So then 2 days before I went to go, we had like a dinner. It was really cute, and then I was just like, okay, cool, like, should we make it official, basically? And he was gassed, right? He was gassed, we were gassed, I was happy. I was like, cool, I've got a boyfriend now, yeah? So that was the situation. That's when we became official, and that was beginning of September. We went to Jamaica at the beginning of September, so we made it official like either the end of August or beginning of September. So yeah, that was that. So when I was in Jamaica, he was very attentive, you know? Like, he FaceTimed me every day. He was just like, I miss you, can't wait for you to get back. It was very cringe, you know? And at the time, I didn't really mind it. I don't really mind cringe. I can do with cringe, so that's fine. I was so into it, like, into him. And I'm not really usually quite that soppy, but I was just like, you know, it's fine, he's my boyfriend. I can be soppy. you know. So yeah, he used to call me every day or whatever, but he was a little bit paranoid, I think, when I was there. Like one time he called and I was like, oh, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. He called me like 100 times because I didn't call back like straight away, and to the point where I had to like leave what I was doing and go and call him. And he was like, oh, was someone chatting you up and all this stuff. He was like, what was going on? Was someone talking to you? Are you talking to someone? Like, it was really weird. Yeah, he was a little bit worried about me there, sort of thing. Not quite sure why. So I was just like, you need to chill, because I'm not on that, innit? I'm not on the possessive thing. I don't like it when people are blowing up my line. I'll just turn my phone off. That's the sort of person I am. Yeah. Yeah, so he was just being overly possessive and I wasn't really feeling it. But then we sort of just carried on. I didn't think nothing of it, whatever. So when I got back from Jamaica, he basically booked the day off work because he wanted to come pick me up. We spent the whole day together and he was like really like just gassed to have me back. So fast forward a month now, he had booked to go to Morocco and I had booked to go to Barbados, like on a random last minute one, and the holidays overlapped basically. So I ended up going Barbados. I was due to go to Barbados 3 days before him, and he was due to go to... I'm really sorry if you guys can hear my family, they're having a whale of a time downstairs. Anyway, yeah, he had booked to go to Morocco, so we were going 3 days apart and I was going first. So there started to be some issues because around like when I was going. So we would talk about this holiday, Morocco, and I remember thinking to myself, like, Morocco kind of sounds like a vacation vibe, like who are you going with sort of thing. But I'm not like, I just take people at face value. If you tell me you're going on holiday with the mandem, that's what I'm gonna believe. That's how I am. So he was going to Morocco and he was like, I'm going with the boys. Yeah, so we knew he was going at the same time, whatever. So about 3 days before, I forgot to mention as well, like he could often be quite flaky. So I like assumed that he was gonna be a bit flaky like around the time he had his holiday, but he just took it to a new level. So yeah, when I was going now, about 3 days before, we'd arranged to meet up and chill for the evening because obviously we were both going away. We weren't gonna see each other for a total of 2 weeks, basically. No, 10 days. So I was like, we're not going to see each other. And obviously I was expecting the same energy from when I went to Jamaica. So I was like, oh yeah, let's meet up, whatever. 3 days before, he bailed. He was like, oh, I can't, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So then the next day, which is 2 days before, we were meant to meet up in town and do some holiday shopping together. And then he just didn't answer his phone. Red flag. I didn't hear from him until the next morning. He said he'd fell asleep. Yeah, I don't believe the whole fell asleep thing personally. The day before now, I messaged him and I was like, am I actually not seeing you before we go? Because I think that's a bit mad. And he was like, there's no way I'm not gonna see you before you go, don't be silly. So then I went to get my hair done. He called and said he's going to London to get some stuff. He said, but he's definitely gonna come to my house and see me before he goes. So he rang me the whole way back from London, and then he said that the next exit on the motorway is Reading, which is where we are. So I said, okay, cool, just come see me at the hairdresser. I'd go to a girl that I know, so she was doing my hair. It was like 10 o'clock at night. So I was like, just come see me at the hairdresser, that's fine, as long as I see you before I go, because I'm flying. I'm leaving my house tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'll call you back because my boys are calling me or whatever. He didn't call back. He didn't come see me at the hairdresser, and then I couldn't get hold of him. I couldn't get hold of him the whole time until the next morning, as in, it's now time for me to go. Yeah, so I'd already told him what time I'm leaving Reading, going to the airport, and then he called me at like 7 AM. Like, there's nothing you can now do, I'm now on my way. Bearing in mind, I've been calling him. I was like, I can't speak to you right now because I'm in the car with my parents and my sister. Like, that's just embarrassing. So I called him when I got to the airport, and I wasn't trying to be mad for the whole holiday, but I don't know, I just felt like it was just a bit much. So I was just like, what the hell has happened? Because now I'm going away and you're coming back after me, so I'm not going to see you for like 2 weeks. And he was like, oh, I fell asleep, babe. I was like, you fell asleep? I said, how do you fall asleep for 2 nights in a row? I don't understand. And how do you fall asleep when you was coming off the motorway? That doesn't make any sense. Because I had to get some stuff and then I fell asleep, yeah? I didn't really believe him, so I don't really understand why it carried on. Because I didn't believe him. And like, I don't know if it's because I never had a boyfriend before or what. Or because I'm like, I feel like I'm quite chill in situations that don't require me to be chill. But I was getting on a plane and I didn't want to be angry the whole plane journey. So I was like, okay, cool. Just call me when you get there, whatever, whatever. So when I got to Barbados now, we spoke on the phone. We squashed it and we spoke for the 2 days overlap, yeah? The day that I flew, the 2 days that was overlap, and then he was going to Morocco. So then he rang me from some dark room. I was like, oh, my boy's asleep, so I can't speak to you, whatever. And then he then flew to Morocco, messaged me when he landed, and then I did not speak to him on the phone again for the next 5 days. He managed to message me, I think, one time and said, the Wi-Fi shit. That's what he messaged me, the Wi-Fi shit. And then I didn't get to speak to him at all while he was away. Which I think, obviously now I know why, now. But at the time, I was like, how is it, yeah, that he's managed to find the only hotel in Morocco, which means that he can't speak to me for the whole time. So I was like, cool. No, I wasn't cool, I was fuming. I was vexed. I was like, send me some pictures of your holiday, like, you know. I wasn't even trying to spy, but I was just like, oh, like, let me see the hotel, let me see what you're getting up to, because I've never been to Morocco, sort of thing. So he sent me 2 pictures, yeah, and that's it. And in both the pictures, he was on his own. Now, I'm not this person. I'm not this paranoid person, okay? But I am now looking at these pictures, and I was like, who took the pictures? That's all I'm thinking, because something about the whole situation was just making me think something was a bit weird. So I zoomed in, like some sort of crazy stalker. I zoomed into the picture and there was a woman in the reflection of the picture. Now I thought to myself, come on now, surely not. Do you know what I mean? So I've then shown my mum. I was like, mum, there's a woman in the glasses. I think he's on holiday with a woman. The man there meant in one of your pictures, you can't speak to me the whole time. Something's a bit weird. I was like, I think he's on holiday with a woman. So anyway, that's the verdict I'd come to. And I was just like, surely not. People can't just be that kind of person. So he come back from Morocco now and he wasn't rushing back to see me. And bearing in mind, the month before I'd gone to Jamaica, he booked the day off work. He wanted to pick me up, take me home. Do you know what I mean? Spend the day with me. This day, I couldn't get hold of him when he got back. He said he landed. He'd fell asleep again. Yeah. The next day, I still couldn't get hold of him. The day that we was actually meant to see each other, I was waiting for him for about 4 hours at the restaurant that we had, and then he showed up at like 9:30 in the evening, and I was literally so vexed. Like I was so vexed. Like I was just like, is this a joke? Like I'm not a mug. So he came there, and I was just talking at him the whole time, and I was like, who took the picture? He said a random person on the road took the picture, blah 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 blah. So bearing in mind, yeah, I'm not from a background where I've had loads of F-boys in my life, so I just believed. I don't know if I did believe. I feel like I wanted to believe, so I sort of just left it. But basically, after that whole situation, the relationship basically went downhill, I think, because he just started to become more and more flaky. Every time he said he's coming over, he never come over. If he did come over, he would like leave after a couple hours. Like he would say he's coming over for the evening, but then he'd go home, which is about 20 minutes out of the way, when mine was opposite his work. It never really made any sense. Like I was just like, you'll be an extra. And then every time he'd get home, he'd say he's tired. He's too tired, so he can't come. So yeah, after he went to Morocco, it all kind of just fell into this cycle of him saying he's gonna do something and him bailing, basically. And then I ended up waiting around for him, and I don't do that sort of thing. It just ended up being a situation where I was like on his time, waiting around for him and all this sort of thing. And then when it got to a point where I was like, okay, this is too much, he had a grievance in his family, and I basically stepped up to be there for him, because I kind of felt like you know, it's a lot. Like he lost someone really close to him, so I was like, okay. And then I went into hospital in January with tonsillitis, and then he didn't visit me not once. He was just like, do you not understand, I've got a lot going on, blah 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 blah. So I felt like it was a red flag, but then I felt like grief does a lot to people, and at the time I sort of looked at everything as an isolated thing, so I left it. I was like, okay, no, I understand, whatever. I then got readmitted for for tonsillitis, and he was like, is it bad if I don't come see you? And I was like, well, that's for you to decide, but it's a bit booky still. So he came to see me, and then when my sister was there the whole day, my brother was there the whole day, like they were like taking it in shifts. And then when he came, my sister was like, oh, I'll leave you to it. I was like, no, you stay, I'll leave. I just started thinking, like, what is going on? Because you're here now. But I just thought, you know, grief is grief. Like, he's just grieving. So then it got to Valentine's Day now, which happened to be his birthday, which is just annoying. And this is the day that basically everything came to a head. On Valentine's Day, I'd been out of hospital 3 weeks, I think. So I was like to him, what are we doing? I've been asking him for ages, what are we doing, what are we doing, what are we doing? And he had been telling me, I'm not sure, I don't think I'm up for it, blah, 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 blah. Now, he had just lost someone, so I accepted that he may not be up for doing anything. I accepted, like, you know, let's just have a quiet one because you're grieving. Tell me why, yeah? My man turned around and said to me, I'm spending my birthday in London. I was like, huh? He's like, I'm spending my birthday in London. I was like, so you're telling me you have not been up for doing anything, or you weren't even, you know, able to visit me in hospital. You have been like really distant, but you're going to live your best life in London. All of a sudden you're better. I was really confused. And then I was like, it's Valentine's Day and it's your birthday, so am I not seeing you? He's like, oh, I can't, like, I'm going to London. Just wanted to add that I got a Valentine's text from him the next morning. He said, happy Valentine's Day, I'll see you later on. And when I replied, I thought he was in London. He said he's going to be back in time so that we can do something together. But that never happened and he never came back. He just basically ensured that I didn't go out anywhere. So I ended up staying home the whole day and he never came back. And then that's why the next day I was basically fed up. So it had got to that point where I decided that day that I don't want to do it anymore. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I was always crying. I was always stressed. It was just too much. So then the next day, but bearing in mind, Valentine's Day, your birthday, I'm at home by myself doing nothing. And I'm not really someone that really cares about that sort of thing, but I had just recently been ill and I'm just thinking it was the one day that you can spend with your girl and you're going to spend it in London with people that I've never even seen. Like, I just thought it was all weird, and I think with everything else adding up, it was all a bit weird. So then the next day, I decided, I was telling him that I was done, I wanted out, I was stressed, I just couldn't do it. So he rang me the next morning and I was like to him, I just need some time. He was ringing off my line, oh my god, I remember this day. And I was messaging him, said I can't talk. And then he was like, can I come see you? I said, not today. Please tell me why this guy messaged me and said he's outside. This house that he couldn't find for the last 3 months, you're now outside. So I was like, wow, my mum was like, just leave him out there. So he came and I opened the door and he was stood there in the tracksuit that I bought him for Christmas, a rose and a card. And I've never been bought a rose before, or any present from any guy, to be honest. So I remember feeling a little bit flattered but a little bit pissed off at the same time, because I was thinking, like, what is this? It's the day after, like, I don't need it. Like, I'm just not even. So he came in the house and we sat down. He was like trying to give me the present thing, the flower and the card, and I was like, before you give that to me, I think we should talk. And he was like, why, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. My man got up and walked out the house and drove off. Like, literally got up and left the house. So that was long. And then rang me after and was like, what was she saying, blah blah blah. I was like, I can't do it anymore, I don't understand what's wrong with you and all this. So yeah, that's basically how we kind of broke up the first time. And then he stayed in contact. I was like, cool, like, there's no bad feelings, I just don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, whatever. So he did everything in his power to try and get me back. So he was trying to get me back or whatever, and I was just like, I'm not really sure about that. And then we just sort of left it, like, it just sort of fizzled, like, we didn't really go anywhere with it. I didn't see him or whatever. And then I got coronavirus, as you guys well and know. And basically, I asked my mum to message him just to let him know, so that he didn't just find out that I had it. So she did, she messaged him, and then he was messaging me the whole time. And obviously I couldn't have visitors anyway, even though this nigga probably wouldn't have visited me. Yeah, so he was messaging me saying that he's thinking of me and all of this stuff. So I've come out of hospital now and he is there. Like, he came to the house, he went to see me, and we went in lockdown like a couple of days later. I've been out of hospital one day and he was asking me where my head's at. He's telling me when I get back together. Now, I don't know if it's because I felt vulnerable or whatever. I was like, yeah, okay, like, let's just see where it goes. And then I just remember feeling really overwhelmed. I started finding out stuff. People were telling me stuff about him. And I just needed to recover. It was a lot. So I remember being really, really stressed and really tired and really just like distraught about everything. It didn't help that obviously I just had COVID, so I was still trying to recover. I just don't think it was a very good time to be asking someone where their head's at, do you know what I mean? But yeah, found out something about something that he had done, and then I basically was calling him and we were arguing about it. I was like, I'm finding this stuff out about you. So I goes, I just can't do it. Like, it's just too much like hard work. It's too much. Like, I don't live my life like this. You're too much, basically. So we left it. I was like, I don't want to be with you anymore. So we stopped talking. Yeah. So that was April. Now in June, I got a message on Instagram. Bear in mind, he didn't have Instagram while we were together. This is the part that you guys have all been waiting for. I got a message on Instagram from a random account, private, yeah, saying happy belated birthday, what you up to, what you saying, all of this stuff. Now I thought it was him because the picture in the corner looked like one of his kids. He had 3 kids, by the way. So I thought it might have been him, but I didn't really know. So I was like, oh, who's this? And then he was like, oh, it's, what should we call him, Damien? Yeah, let's call him Damien. So I was like, oh cool, how you doing? Yeah? And he was like, yeah, I'm good, how's things, blah blah blah. So then I followed him and he accepted my follow request. So I'm going through his Instagram now, yeah. So I've gone through his Instagram. I was thinking like, what, he didn't have an Instagram when we was together, and he'd made it in April, because I've gone down all the 150 pictures that he had to find out when the first one was. So I'm going down this Instagram, yeah. Please tell me why I'm seeing on this Instagram pictures of him in Morocco. Remember the holiday I've told you guys about from last year? I'm seeing pictures of him in Morocco, yeah. But here's the thing, the pictures are of him and a woman in this same holiday. And I remember one of the pictures he showed me was him on a quad bike, and it was like, it must have been cropped because the original picture was on this Instagram with him on a bike and her on a bike. Deep it, man was doing a vacation when he was in a relationship with me, a relationship he was begging for, by the way. I don't really, whatever. So I was like, wow, there's a whole vacation going on in this Instagram that I'm now watching. Not only that, I've gone down, I'm still going through, and there's pictures of him and this woman chilling together. There's like vacation, and on every picture it says booby, right? Like BOOBIX. That's what it says. And I was thinking back, yeah, to a time when he went to go pick up something from his friend's house, and he left me in the car with his phone. There was a phone call coming up on his phone called Booby, right? I remember it being called Booby, but this guy made me feel like I was going nuts in it, because I was like to him, who's Booby? And the phone was ringing off the line, and it was this Booby person, and I was like, who's Booby? He was like, Booby, who's that? I was like, Booby's been calling you, darling. Like, he was like, it's just Bobby. I was like, I swear it said Booby. He's like, no, it's Bobby, it's my brethren, Bobby. And I was like, all right, cool. I was just like, maybe I read it wrong. That's what I decided, I'd read it wrong. Now I'm on this Instagram and Booby's all over the shop. It ain't his cousin, it's some blonde lady called Booby. Are you deep in it? This guy was been lying from day one, I swear to God, like, it's actually a bit of a joke. I've never really met a compulsive liar, so it was all a bit weird for me. I've seen that now, she's all over it, she's all over the Instagram. They basically, it's almost like they've been rocking for years, because some of the pictures look really old. I was like, rah, that's a bit mad still. And obviously, yeah, we'd been broken up by this point, but I was still highly vexed, yeah? And then I'm seeing on there as well, there's this boy on there all the way through, and he's like, oh, my firstborn, my first love, this, that, and the other. I was like, who is this kid? This person looked about 20 as well, years old. Later to find out this is a random person, right? It was his firstborn child that I never knew about. Bearing in mind, I've been asking him because I knew he had 3 kids, which is a lot for me to take on anyway. I always said to him, is there any more kids? Any in Jamaica? Anywhere? Right? He was like, no, he lied again. I found another child I found out about, right? So anyway, he's still messaging me. He's still DMing me. He said, call me. So my sister was like, don't call him, because he's about to get on the train. She's like, you're not gonna get anything from it. I was like, no, I need to know what the hell's going on. I rang him, and then he's like, oh, what you saying? How's life? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, how's your girlfriend? He started laughing. The only reason I think he added me is because he wanted me to know that there was a woman, because otherwise that doesn't make any sense, does it? Because why do you need to add me? Yeah, I think he just wanted me to see the woman, to be fair. So I was like, how's your girlfriend? And he was like, I don't have a girlfriend. What are you talking about? Where are you going? What are you up to? Blah, blah, blah. I said, you fully have a girlfriend. It's on your Instagram. Like, there's no need to lie anymore. He was like, why do you care I'm not together? Which really just annoys me. That whole thing just annoys me. Do you know what I mean? Like, just don't do that. I said, who was the woman that you went to Morocco with? Like, who was it? Because I'm starting to think that some shit's going down. Like, what the hell's going on? He's like, oh, certain things are left better unsaid. Just know that I love you and I want you. I was like, you're chatting shit. Like, what are you doing? I didn't understand. I sort of just got on the train. I was like, I'll call you back another time, whatever. I think it was like the next day, he called again. He was the last time we spoke. And I was like, what's the situation? Like, who's this woman? He was like, oh, like, I don't think you want to know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, just tell me. Like, because we're not getting back together, so like, just tell me. So he was like, yeah, like, she's been there. I was like, what do you mean? I said, have you been with her since the start? He said, yeah, I've been with her since the day I met you. So I was the side chick. She was there before me. Me was the one on the side. So all of them days when I'm wondering, like, why are you not showing up? It's because he's with his woman, like basically his wife. Which I think is crazy because I didn't want you. You pursued me. I was minding my business. I was eating peri-peri. I didn't need this in my life, honestly. Some people just, I think some people just, they're just, like, you know what I mean? Like, you pursued a random girl on the street. Lied from day one. He even lied about his age when I first met him as well. He lied about his age. He told me he was 31 and he wasn't. Like, man was just lying from the start, like, and then making me believe that what he had told me before wasn't the case. So anyway, I'm talking to him, yeah, because it doesn't just stop there. You don't just tell me that you've had a woman the whole time and apologise. No. He was like, I need her, that's my woman, she's my woman, but you know the situation. I was like, what situation am I supposed to know? He's like, I don't love her, I love you. Like, don't worry about that, I love you, blah, blah, blah. I said, we're not in, like, some movie. Like, I'm really confused as to why you're even saying it. And then I was like to him, what does she think then? Because you're telling me all of this. Like, what does she think you feel about her? And he was like, we don't need to talk about her. I was like, then why are you talking to me? Honestly, he started telling me everything about his relationship with her. He said, I've been with her since X amount of time. He's been with her for years. And he's like, I don't love her, and I was with her today. If I hadn't changed, would I have told you that I was with her today? And then I was like, so you just left her to tell me that you was just with her and that you don't love her, you love me. He's like, I can't win with you. You're vexed if I don't tell you and you're vexed if I do. Like, when someone's just a psycho like that, you can't, there's no talking to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very strange. I'm not from a world where I volunteer sighting. I'm not. I can't really fathom like everything you're saying to me right now, because you're basically saying that everything that's happened has been a lie. Basically. He's like, no, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, just like chatting shit. This guy then proceeds to say to me, now that I've told you the truth, what are you saying? I was like, what am I saying about what? What am I saying about what? That, like, you know, we could just carry things on. Now that you know, it's fine. She doesn't have to come between what we've got. I was thinking, is this a real request? Like, do people, that was my answer supposed to be, oh my God, okay, yes, let's go into the sunset together. Now that I know that you've got your main woman and I'm just gonna stay firmly in the side chick position. Is that what was, like, a whole me? No. I was like, I can't speak to you anymore. Have a good life, basically, because I'm not doing that. So I blocked him and deleted his number, which I don't do, but I was just thinking, like, the whole creeping back in and adding me on shit and all of this was just going on for too long. Do you know what I mean? I was like, you've got your woman. I can't believe it's real life, but that's how I found out that I was the side chick the whole time. Like, deep it. From July all the way around to February, I was the side chick. Are you deep in it? I was just like, yeah, and I had no idea. And I can't believe people like him exist, really. Oh, and to top it off, yeah, I got a call from my cousin a couple months later. She was like, someone asked for my number today. He goes by the name, he said his name's Damien. This is why I use Damien as the name. Oh, he doesn't have a picture. There's a picture of a baby. So I was like, send me the picture of the baby, because I know the babies. Well, I thought I knew the babies. But, so she sent it to me, I goes, that's him. She sent him a message saying, we can't talk anymore. He said, why? Like, this guy, I just don't understand. I don't understand. And because of how he is as a person, I reckon he would have known that she was my cousin. I feel like he was trying to get a rise just because of the way he behaved through the whole time. It's either that or he was just on a prowl for another woman. But he got her number on Oxford. On the same road where we started talking was the same road that she said that he pulled her and was chatting her up and was like, I want to take you out. The same bars he was spitting. How mad? The same bars. That's mad, isn't it? I will never understand why people go out of their way to pursue something like I was minding my business when they know that they are with somebody. Like, it wasn't an accident. We weren't just like in a club one day and he accidentally cheated on his woman. He was pursuing, I don't know. There are so many things that happened when I was with him. So many things that I've probably forgotten. Like, there's stories for days with that relationship. Like, he was so good at it. Do you know what I mean? So good at it. And I've never really seen myself as like a naive person. Like, that's never been something that I felt like I was. But I feel like the fact that I've never been official with someone, just like I was kind of blind to the red flags because there were a few. Yeah, so that's just how I found out that I was a side ting for 8 months of my life. You learn, you live and you learn. I mean, I don't feel like there was any reason for me to go through any of that. But yeah, that was the situation with him. If you guys enjoyed that video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you think of that situation and that story. I know it's a bit of a longer video, but I just wanted to like wrap it up and get it all in there because loads of people have been asking about the situation and what's happened. So I thought I would tell you guys in one video, clear it all up. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys like this video. I hope it made sense. And yeah, if you want more story times, then like this video and let me know down below. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Days on my cheap, mama, I'm fed up of life. We came from the mud, do you remember the times? Look 'em dead in the eyes. You see where the envy and the jealousy lies. Day one's turning when they said they would ride. Feel like my heart's just been buried alive.